Welcome to the Rocky and Meisty Show presented by Jew Stool. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Let's get right into it.
That's what I think.
That is a hot take.
Tell you what, Morty, I'm picking the Lions to upset here, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, Rocky.
Ridiculous answer. If the Ravens had J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Marcus Peters, L.J. Fort, they'd be the best team.
No, I'm completely missing the boat on it. You're at the wrong dock. Meisty, what do you think about this game? The Bengals got a shot?
I have here written down in my pamphlet, I have Bengals 35, Chiefs 30. I'm sorry to say it. If the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl, they're the hottest team in football right now.
They playoffs with Jared Goff already. They made the Super Bowl with Jared Goff already. They didn't need Matthew Stafford to make the playoffs. They had that taken care of already. They got Matthew Stafford so that they can win these big games.
The most insane, crazy thing that we have never, ever seen before. Granted, they had 2 timeouts, but
I'm curious.
We want to talk about legacy-defining plays and legacy-defining throws. 13 seconds, and you get the ball in field goal range. That is absolutely insane.
Okay, and guess what? In basketball, you use a basketball. In football, you use a football.
Rocky, what's going on? It's such a busy work day.
Okay, listen, I know you're at work right now. I know. But you got to hear what just happened. Just happened. I apologize. I know you're busy. I know, you're busy. Baker Mayfield's been traded, Meisty. Baker Mayfield's been traded.
Where?
How much time have we spent on this podcast discussing Baker Mayfield? Like every day pretty much, right? And he's finally been traded. And get this, for a 5th round pick. A 5th round pick, Meisty. I mean, the Browns were able to get a 5th round pick, and they still have to pay half of Baker Mayfield's contract next year. The 2 teams, the Panthers and the Browns, are splitting the contract. The Browns get a 5th round pick and $9 million off their books, and the Panthers get $9 million and Baker Mayfield. Meisty, is that crazy? Baker Mayfield's in the
and didn't Robbie Anderson? Wasn't Robbie Anderson the one who said no when they mentioned the name Baker to him? Oh my God, this is going to be the best locker. This is fantastic.
I know, man. By the way, it comes to show. When you sit on a player that much and that long, 5th round pick is all they could get out of him. It's all they could get for him. And granted, it's a 1-year rental, essentially. But there have been 1st round picks surrendered for 1-year rentals, especially a former 1st overall pick that has shown sparks of talent. So this is crazy value that the Panthers are getting right now. I'm sorry. They what do they have to lose? $9 million? I mean, you can get mediocre offensive linemen for $6-7 million a year. Like, this is just slightly more than that. This is a quarterback. This is a competent quarterback for $9 million. Crazy.
Right. I mean, and then they're not even going to, and then they're going to give him the starting job over Sam Darnold, or that's the plan there.
He's better than Sam Darnold. Come on, let's Sam Darnold.
I know, but what are they going to do? They're going to just say, hey, Baker, here's the starting job, and they're just going to tell Sam, hey, you're on the bench now, or they're going to make him. They're probably going to make them fight for it. If you ask me, but I mean, we'll have to hear and wait for reports. I guess this is some crazy.
It can't hurt, but let's put it like this: Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield were in the same draft, if you recall, right? And a lot of people actually thought like Sam Darnold was like the safest bet in that draft. Since then, Sam Darnold has been awful every single year. Let's just put it out there like that. He's been like he's barely made the top 30 throughout his career, right? Like maybe he's the 31st or 32nd best starting quarterback in the league over the last 4 years. Baker Mayfield has been a top 10 quarterback twice in his career, and other years he's been not good. But you're talking about a guy that's been not good for 4 years straight. This is a no-brainer to me. Now, they should let them fight it out, and Baker has the surgery, and of course, we don't know how that's going to affect his play. And they should let them fight it out because they have Sam Darnold on the contract anyway, right? Sam Darnold, I think, is going to cost about $18 million, double of what Baker is going to cost for the Panthers. But yeah, man, I mean, listen, they should let both of them play out the contracts. And fight it out in minicamp. This is going to be fun, but it's a no-brainer. Baker Mayfield, man. Baker Mayfield is way better than Sam Darnold. He's just better. Even if you don't like him, he's better than Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I love Baker Mayfield. I mean, I don't like him in the Ravens division. I think that for a 5th rounder, that's. I mean, the poor Browns, they got screwed over, but they had a good player in Baker Mayfield, and they gave him 4 different coaches over 3 years, or whatever it was. Over 4 years, 3 coaches. And a handful of different, players and personnel. He was never settled in. Hopefully the Panthers can settle him in right. receiving core is a good receiving core down there. They have a good defense, by the way. That defense last year was surprisingly good. So I think that the Panthers are fine. Like you said, they're paying $5 million for a starting caliber quarterback. That's insane money to pay. That's no money. Now the question is, if he doesn't do anything for them, and he just does what he did on the Browns.
So I was going to ask,
do anything.
Do you think this makes the Panthers playoff contenders? I mean, listen, look at the division for a second. Okay, the Saints no longer have Drew Brees.
It's garbage.
The Saints no longer have Drew Brees.
Garbage.
They just don't have and Jameis Winston. Okay, but they no longer have Drew Brees. Obviously,
Right.
Brady and the Bucs will probably win the division. I mean, I think most people are going to predict that. And then you have the Falcons, who don't have Matt Ryan, who have Marcus Mariota. I mean, actually, according to your app, it was Filippo Franks as the starting quarterback. Either Filippo Franks or Marcus Mariota, whoever wins the battle over there. So you've got the Filippo Franks-led Falcons, the Drew Brees-less Saints, and the Baker Mayfield-led Panthers. I mean, they can be second place in that division and maybe win 9 games.
Really can. It's really a good. I like the spot for him. It's not an easy division. It's a hard fought division, but like you said, they're not that good. I mean, the whole NFC conference has been. I feel like it's just on the downslope. So it's perfect for him. Let him go to the NFC. He can get himself to the playoffs. That's all he needs to do. By the way, no one looks at like, oh, the AFC was bad that year. The NFC was bad that year. No one remembers. The fact is, if he makes the playoffs, it says on his resume, playoff year. That's all that matters. No one cares.
Then he's getting payday next year.
It's a huge. You think about when he was on the Browns, especially now, like he still had to go up against.
Sorry, we lost you a little there. I think you're chopping out.
The Ravens and the Steelers were really good, and then the last year.
Now we got.
How about now?
Now you're good.
Yeah, so as I was saying, when he was on the Browns, he had to play the Steelers and the Ravens, who were good for the beginning of his career there. And then at the end of his career on the Browns, the Bengals were the good team in the division as well. So here, like you said, he's going up against softer competition, but hard-fought football. So that should be good for him.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have much to work with. I mean, he's got Christian McCaffrey when he's healthy, or when he's got, DJ Moore, but that's about it.
And Robbie Anderson, that's very good. It's very.
Robbie Anderson. What's Robbie Anderson? He's an average to below average receiver. I mean,
DJ Moore is supposed to be much better than what they have him.
He played well in 2020. He played pretty well, but last year, for the most part in his career, he hasn't been anything special throughout his career. He's a solid receiver. He's a number 2 receiver. He doesn't really have any pieces. The offensive line is not very good. They got Bradley Bozeman from the Ravens, but other than that, and he's their best offensive lineman right now.
Be somewhat good. No running back is just making such good moves without having an offensive line, unless that Christian McCaffrey's the only example. Where's their offensive line rank amongst the NFL?
I'll tell you, Austin Corbett ranked pretty high last year. This with Bradley Bozeman is now on the Panthers. He ranked pretty high this year. I'm just looking at it right now. Taylor Moton, the tackle, also ranked. They have a few good tackles there. Yeah,
they should be able to listen. They should be able to protect him. A healthy Christian McCaffrey will be nice. There's no reason why they don't have, I wouldn't say the Cam Newton years when he was doing really well there, but similar. They should be getting wins. They shouldn't be losing games. And if they're losing games, then yeah, I don't know what's wrong. But their defense is good. Baker's good. Team's good.
Do you think they make the playoffs? I'll tell you, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
I'm trying to think. Give me a second. Now let me run through the rest of the NFC.
Okay, fine. So let's put it like this: Bucks.
Yes. They make the playoffs. Yes, guaranteed. Yes. Baker will be in the playoffs, and that's without going straight to schedule, who they play.
Wait. Remember the AFC West. The NFC West has the Rams and the Cardinals and the Niners. So that's 2 wild card teams easily right there with the competition in the NFC. So that's 1 wild card spot left. I mean, the Panthers are not, unless Baker Mayfield plays like 2020 Baker Mayfield, which I have no proof to indicate to me that that's going to be the case. It's hard to see them grabbing that 3rd wild card. But the 3rd wild card could be up in the air. I mean, you have the Cowboys and the Eagles. The Eagles are a good team, obviously. You have the Vikings that are always going to somehow be in the mix. Honestly, maybe, but I can't see them making the playoffs unless Baker Mayfield plays like 2022 Baker. What?
They have to be better than the Vikings. That's the team for them. That's their goal. If they can be better than the Vikings, the average Vikings teams, then they're in a good spot. Yeah, if there are too many good teams, if the NFC West, the NFC East somehow two teams, yes, you're looking good. But normally it's one team from the NFC East. The Browns probably will have a better record than that team that makes that from the East. The Browns should be fine. I'll have to look at the schedule and I'll have to look a deep dive into it, but it seems legit. If I'm correct, the Panthers play the Browns week 1 of the schedule. Am I off?
Do they?
Maybe it's a preseason game. I remember seeing something like this.
Right, second. Come on, Internet. Don't fail me now. No, you're right. Cleveland Browns again. See, if they knew this earlier, that would have been Sunday Night Football. No, probably not, but that would have been a pretty cool.
Is that something? I love it.
Cool. Now that's cool.
Last year,
I love that. That is cool.
You think that's Rocky? Last year, the Panthers traded for Sam Darnold, and they played the Jets week 1. Now they play Baker week 1. Mind blown. What's with the Panthers?
It's all a conspiracy.
For the team?
They're all colluding. They just want to make these crazy headlines. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That is crazy. So we'll see the Panthers Browns. Well, I can't wait for football season. Panthers Browns are going to be week 1. That's just going to be so. It's okay. Well, we're going to have to watch Red Zone and see everything going on in week 1. But anyway, that's just awesome. Baker Mayfield to the Panthers.
I figured out how the Panthers each year select their starting quarterback. They get the schedule. They say, "Who are we playing week 1? Starter."
Next year, we already know when the NFL schedule is going to be released, who the Panthers are going to use as their starting quarterback. So hopefully they'll put them as against the Chiefs week 1, right? That's the hope. But anyway, Baker Mayfield finally going on his way out of Cleveland to Carolina. We'll see if Baker Mayfield make the Browns regret their decisions, or we'll see maybe not. Maybe Baker won't get back to the point that he's been at some of the peaks in his career. Thank you for joining us, everyone. And Baker Mayfield vs. the Browns, week 1. Stay tuned for that.